All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome back, 2019. I can't believe it's 2019, first of all. I can't believe for me personally that my youngest, my babies, my twins are starting today their last semester of high school. It's just like, am I really that old? Apparently so, according to my children. Yes, I am that old. So, but I hope you had a wonderful holiday season. We had the best time. I took my girl Kate back to the airport yesterday, so that was really sad and great, and she loves where she's at, so that's great. But I've had a little bit of an adjustment day because one of the things that we talked a lot about, she's in the business school and you have to get internships, right? That's how the world works. And so I will be actually really surprised if she ever lives at home anymore. She'll come to visit, but she's interviewing for different internships in Houston and Dallas and all sorts of things. So it was a little bit more bittersweet than usual, but that's just part of growing up and letting go of our kids. And I'm super excited for her, but totally changing my life. But it's so great, so great. So that has been, like I said, just a little adjustment. And it's interesting. I say that because it's interesting how it just affects your mind in terms of work life and just all that. Like I just kind of felt yesterday, I had a different post idea and authentically, Mike, I was just kind of a little bit blah yesterday. That's just how it was, and that's okay. And so what I did is I switched my post that I had yesterday. I'll move that to another day. And I talked about how I miss her. It's pure and simple. And of course, the interaction and the messages are so great. And it reminds me how important it is that we're just real like that. At different times, it's really important to plan out our stuff. And then it's also important to just show that super real side of ourselves that has nothing to do with our business. And the reality is I was blah and I didn't really have any rah-rah. You know, I mean, I was super excited. It was a really weird day because I was super excited about all of our groups starting and all of our new challengers. And in my own personal heart, I was missing my girl. So, I was checking in one-on-one with all my new clients and that was great. But was able to just kind of share about that. And again, people totally responded and that was kind of cool. So just a reminder about that. Okay, let me kind of tell you a little bit about we're just going to go over quickly our groups. I'm going to get another, just a little bit update on the retreat. And then I'm going to talk today about goal setting. So that's what our agenda is today. Erin obviously had planned to be on, but she had some stuff come up with story builders, which is super exciting. So to do that when you're trying to set it home. So that's cool. Okay, so our groups, we all know that, and we have a number of new coaches that have joined our team since we last met. So I first want to say welcome to Team LT, Team Lives Transformed. That name is what we're all about. We're all about helping people transform their life from the inside out, starting, mostly physically, of course, but in the process, it's mentally, spiritually, just at the core of who we are, our heart issues. So we're super glad that you have said yes to being a coach. We're super glad that you've said yes. So thankful that you've said yes to being on this team. And even all of you that have already been on this team, thank you for being so committed to our team and for loving people and serving people. And we are just also excited that you've said yes to your own health and wellness journey. To us, that is where it starts. That's the most important thing. I started this team because I needed something different in my life. And started my own health and wellness journey, then started the coaching journey, and here we all are. And for most of us, Amethyst just did a great post about it yesterday, but for most of us, that's how it starts. We're starting our own health and wellness journey, and we realize, oh my gosh, these tools work. I feel better. And then, so I'm going to share it with other people. In my multiple conversations with some of my new coaches, every single one of them said, I'm not a salesperson. We all know this team is so not about sales. It's about inviting people along for the journey. And I love that we're all united in that. And so that there is freedom that comes from being on our own journey to be healthier and to live the life that we want. and then to bring others along and invite others along on that. Such a different perspective maybe than some other teams or some other jobs. So super excited about that. So our groups for right now, we have started our Transform 20 group, which I'm super excited about. I've been doing that Shanti mashup calendar for the last, 5 weeks. And then this week I'm just doing T25 beta just for this week. And I'm super excited about starting Transform 20. You guys are all doing Transform 20, Amethyst, Beth Ann, and Tracy, right? Aren't you guys excited?
Yes.
20 minutes, intense, in and out. Have any of you started, have you guys all gone through the tracker and the food and all that? You've done that, Tracy?
I haven't gone through, I've gone through the tracker a little bit, not so much the food, just because it just looks like it's the container system, Yeah.
So for those of you that are new and you are doing Transform 20 and you are committed to the container system, awesome. There's a number of us here who have been trained in 2B mindset, and for me personally, 2B mindset totally works for me. Better for me than containers. But what I love, again, about Beachbody, and I've had this conversation with so many of my coaches, and I know those of you that have been around for a bit know this, that what I love is that we have lots of options. Not everybody's brain works the same. Not everybody's body works the same. We don't all have to be doing the exact same nutrition program. I'm so excited and proud of Beachbody for coming up with different ways that connect with different people. And Alana is a registered dietitian out of LA and has had great success with a different type of nutrition program than Autumn's container system, Autumn Calabrese. And so both of those are right. Neither of them are wrong. It's what works best for you and your brain. Some people love the, not confinement, but the simplicity and the exactness of the containers. Some people, 2B mindset works better, and there's a new freedom in that. So whichever works for you is what you should do. But as a coach, it's important to be aware of both of them so that you can instruct and help people and teach people about both the programs, and because what works for you may not work for the other person, whatever. So just be aware of that. So if you have time, not if you have time, please make time this week. If you're in the new group for Transform 20, none of us have ever done it before. So we are going to need to talk about stuff. I remember when Amethyst and we were first doing 80-day obsession, we sat down and went through the meal plan together and created a meal plan because it's all new to us. And that's what's so cool about doing this together in our VIP launch group. So take some time to look through the information that was sent to us, and then reach out. And if we need to figure some things out so we can help each other and help our clients, let's do that. That's what this team is about. So Transform 20 started. New year, new you started. Okay, so those are for sure. We start the workouts for Transform 20 on the 14th, and same with the new year, new you. The mindset, our Team LT mindset group, mindset makeover. Here's a real question. I have some new people, totally new to Beachbody, new to 2B mindset. In your guys' opinion, are you finding that the 2B mindset, that group is helpful? Are you finding like it's getting too big? What are you finding that's working? Because what I was thinking was I'm going to be working and doing a small group outside of the mindset group, but after a little bit, adding them in, maybe after that first month. How are you guys feeling with that?
I'll add. So I'm starting a new private group too. And originally I was going to have this week be the prep week. And then, so like half of my group actually signed up mid-December. So since like they'd already really started the videos and been implementing some things, I just talked to everyone individually and asked, could we just use the weekend to be the prep and then just start January 7th? And they were all willing. Some a little bit more nervous than others. I mean, some of them had already been through half of the videos already. So because I really wanted to have a full 4 weeks with them. So I went forward and did that, and I did not include them in the mindset makeover.
Okay.
So I think it would be nice to be able to use that as sort of an ongoing group. So merge the new groups into that, or I don't know if we start a new group, like a 2019 group, because it is almost 200 people. So,
which is so awesome. Amethyst, what are your thoughts? This is probably a full conversation for another call, but just would love your thoughts.
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking about this day, or this morning, that, I'm checking in there every day just because I have so many people in there. So I want them to keep seeing me, but even though they're not necessarily checking in, definitely not regularly. I have my own text thread going. But like someone who just signed up for 2B Mindset last week, I want her to have she doesn't necessarily want the private text group, but I want her to have the excitement that comes with a new group. So I put her in the Mindset Makeover to go through the units. And then I put her in New Year, New You, so she could have the excitement of the new year and a new group.
Okay, that's a good idea. And is she doing a workout?
She is. She just got BOD for the first time, but she's not doing Transform 20. So we have all these things going on, but I just feel like you have to make the decision for that person.
Totally.
Or help, put them in the place that's going to be best for them. So still trying to figure out like this whole mentorship thing. Like my gals are really great at checking in and they're super consistent, but I need to figure out, Tracy, you can let me know. Hopefully you're sharing, Tracy, what you're modifying from what Erin's posting so that we can just figure out the best thing to be posting to our mentorship, individuals. So are you doing what Erin is doing, Tracy, or are you doing something different?
It is a little bit different, but I did print out everything that she did, like, how to answer, anybody that's talking about it's too cold to drink water or that sort of stuff. But I am literally just using all of the work that's been created and just doing the posts from
hold on one second, guys. Keep talking.
So from the back office.
In the back office. And once I actually looked through, which is the units, right? And I just never really knew how far along my people went through the units. I think they might have done the prep week, but I don't know if they went through all of the weeks. And so that's why I wanted to do it separately. So I will be posting daily. So like on Sunday, I just scheduled all the posts for this week, and they do have like check-ins, or they encourage a Zoom call once a week. So like those, I might put a video.
So you're doing a Facebook group?
I'm doing a Facebook group because the posts are so long. Like I just couldn't even imagine putting that in to a text thread. So that was just my comfortability with that.
Right.
So I'm literally doing that. And so once I looked at the prep week, it is pretty light, especially when I had some people that had their boxes and been looking through the videos for the last couple of weeks. I just basically cut and paste the posts into a long email. And at the end, it's a to-do list, like get a scale, start drinking water, make sure your fridge is full of veggies. I mean, something that you can do in an hour, right? After going to the grocery store. So that's why I thought, if we just have a weekend where they kind of dedicated a couple of hours to wrap their brain around this, we could, get started.
Okay.
But it's a pilot, right? We're testing it out.
Exactly.
But I have 7 people in the group. So I think that's a good number. It's not too small. Obviously, it's not big, but honestly, like I've only had 3 people introduce themselves, and I'm wondering if, like, one of them, the post was really long and it was interesting. I'm just like, it didn't need to be that. And she had mentioned, like, I wonder if I've burned any calories with how many times I started this and finished it. And like before I posted, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like creating anxiety just asking them to introduce themselves. So I don't know.
So one of the things that we it's been mulling around in my head is that one of our sessions on our retreat, I think it's really important that we have a working time to figure out to be mindset, to share all of our stuff. Like Tracy, I think it would be really awesome for you to share kind of what you've done and how you've adapted, what you saw in Aaron's and how you've adapted from what Alana's done. And because you have more of a background in nutrition than any of us, and that would be super powerful. And we really, as a team, it's really important to me, since so many of us have been trained and so many of us really believe in this program, to really, by the end of January was my goal, or by the end of the retreat, to really have our brains around a system that Team LT is going to try for probably the next 6 months. Then we reevaluate, or if it just bombs or whatever, but we've done it enough times where I think we can put something together. But I feel like we all keep still trying to figure it out, and we're gonna be together in a leadership forum. And I think it's important that we figure this out, at least how we're gonna move forward, like I said, for the next 6 months or so, or 3 months, and then we evaluate or whatever.
So one thing to add to that, because where I worked before, it was kind of like a franchise, so to speak. And so they had a lot of training and a lot of scripts and a lot of obviously materials and how they wanted us to teach and guide our clients. Mm-hmm. And as all of us at the beginning were registered dietitians, we kind of wanted to create our own thing and cater it to our style, because it was a national company, but in Silicon Valley, we had a unique clientele. And so we thought, I don't know, we were the smarter than the average Joes. No. Once we finally just followed their scripts as much as we felt comfortable with, and because they had piloted it through their training centers and tested it with multiple groups, the more we just followed their lead, kind of the easier it became, and the results of the patients were better. So that's why I'm just taking advantage of the back office, and why reinvent the wheel, and then just kind of massage it to your, wording a little bit. So that's kind of my take.
Okay, and so that I love that. I think that you're right. So that's why I think just a session when we're on the retreat, to just kind of go over stuff, and to maybe just, like you said, put together a checklist as a coach of how you walk your people through it, so that when we have new coaches, we can teach them, this is duplicatable, this is not a big to do, just like we do with the challenge groups. Now we have this for 2B Mindset, this is what we do. But I feel like we're still talking about it. So if we can just can be concise and get it, our brains wrapped around it, and get it into a doc form, if we will, that we can share with one another and with our new coaches. That's an important part of our business, to be able to duplicate stuff as easily as possible for our new coaches.
Yep.
So hopefully you guys that will be good with that being one of our sessions. Have a dialogue about that.
Can I add? I just signed up for the mentor program for 2B.
Yay, you're going to love it. It's so fascinating.
I'm a little nervous. I did it. Aaron's like, try to commit for a week. So I did it, and I had that down. But I figured, you know what? Why not? Because there's so many people out there. Mm-hmm. Nutrition is like the thing. I mean, if you're not like somebody that loves to work out, it's like, it's too much to try to manage food and working out and trying to get it all done. So I was like, you know what? I need to do it. So I signed up. I have to pick my date, and I'm excited. So
yay, Beth Ann, I'm so excited. So for all of you watching, I think it is still on sale, right?
No,
it's over.
I think the deal they were running ended on the 3rd.
Okay.
I think it extended.
I did too.
Anything with 2B, I think they extended it to
the 31st.
Yep, that's what I thought too. So
I was thinking I saw that, but I think it was just for the actual program. I could be wrong though.
Okay. Worth checking out.
Yeah, so check it out. But regardless, you guys, if you are interested at all in nutrition, if you like coaching, you should do this. You should do this mentorship program. For your own benefit. I think there's some really great information in the training. Number two, Amethyst has talked about this. I've talked about this. Tracy, this is her background, so this is a little more natural for her. But I love coaching and want to give my clients the best. I do not have a nutrition background. It is so comforting for me, and it gives me so much more confidence to know that I've been through a training. I understand the science behind things. I have specific information and knowledge to pass on to my clients. And I think as a coach and just somebody who's running your own business, our job is to always be educating ourselves. As a former teacher, I went to school to become a teacher. We had to do classes all the time to keep our credential up, because when you're teaching other people, you want to be on the forefront of information. You always want to be learning and growing. It doesn't mean it has to be your favorite thing, but it's important to learn and grow. And this is such a great program. It just is a really great tool to have in your toolbox. So I highly recommend that. Okay, second thing, we have our retreat coming up at the end of this month. We are meeting at my house January 31st by 5 o'clock. And then we're gonna head up to the mountains, and we're gonna have such a great time together. We have training planned, and we also have just team building stuff, getting to know one another. We absolutely recognize that we know getting away for the weekend is so difficult. You have children, you might have jobs, whatever your situation is. You have spouses or families that you're leaving behind. It costs money. We know that. And we so appreciate that. We also think it's important to provide a professional experience for you, where we're also we as the leaders are pouring into you, teaching, training, and just loving on you, thanking you, and giving you a time to step away from family, from all the to-do lists, from life, and to just be re-energized and to come together. And so we are excited about the fact that we're going to be going to Arnold, California, up in the mountains. We have some activities planned down in a darling little town, Murphy's. We have lots of fun planned and lots of training too. Amethyst and I are working on one of the training things today. And so we are excited. Erin and I are working on another training. We're going to talk about all sorts of good stuff, and then also have time for you to say, okay, this is where I'm struggling. How can we help? And we all come together and brainstorm and work together. We want you to walk away from this weekend, 1, feeling more confident as a coach, 2, knowing that you are loved and appreciated as a member of Team LT, and 3, with stronger relationships with one another. And then just finally really feeling like, gosh, this is exactly what I'm called to do. And I just walk away feeling filled up inside. That's part of those are some of our goals for the weekend. So please, 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 when I post the link for this, we have our list going, but we are ordering some things for the weekend, and we need to have some final counts. So will you please, once you've watched this video, write in the comments yes or no. Not just yes if you're coming, but yes or no if you are coming on the retreat. We want to have a final count by the end of this week. Okay, thank you. All right, so our time is ticking away here. And so one of the things that I've been talking, oh my gosh, well, we always do at the beginning of a year is people make resolutions. If you have, awesome, great. But when it comes to our coaching business, we want to set goals for our business. Couple of things. 1, we know that everybody is in this business for a different reason. Some of you, okay, we have 10 minutes, so there you go. We're going to go fast with this, and we can talk more about it. But this business is what you want it to be. We know that all of you are here because you want to help people. That's what drove all of us to become coaches. Like I said at the beginning, we've had success. We want to help other people have success and feel good in their own skin and create the life we want. As we look at the business specifically, it's important if you're a coach to set goals. Your goal does not have to be 5-star elite. That's not what your goal is. It doesn't have to be, but it could be. But we know that, no matter where you are on the spectrum, you need to have goals for your business. And they need to be reasonable goals. They need to be measurable goals. So I'm going to talk today just really specifically about SMART goals. I know this is probably backwards, but it's all I know how to do.
That's good. It's okay. We can
and I
read
will
it.
post some of this later. But we're going to talk about specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time-bound goals. I hope that your coach has talked to you, or you need to reach out to your coach about goal setting. Like I said, Amethyst and I are getting together after this. We're going to be talking about the retreat and also our goals. We do that regularly. But I want you to be talking with your team and your own coach about your goals, especially as we start 2019. Okay? So let's talk about this. You can write this down. I will post SMART, what they stand for. But as you set your goals, these are important things to think about. Number one, they need to be specific. Okay? This is important so that you know exactly what needs to be done. One of my goals, I'll give an example, is that I want to increase my income because I'm going to have 3 kids in college next year. Amethyst and Aaron both know this. I've shared this goal. Like, that is a big, real goal for me. Now, that's a good goal, but that's not very specific. That's a great idea. So I'm in the process of figuring out exactly how to do that. And what I'm looking at is taking an income I want to make and backing up. And this is why I need Aaron and Amethyst's help to figure this out. I need to back it up to figure out, what do I need to do every day, every week, every month to reach that goal. So that's why you need to be specific. Okay? Second one, your goals need to be measurable. Measurable. And so this goal needs to be based on a metric, if you will, a metric system that you can figure, like, that you can weigh things. Is it working? Is it not? So, or that's very specific and measurable in terms of, so for example, you can say, I want to grow my business. That's a good goal. But a measurable goal says, I want X amount of customers and X amount of new coaches every single month. You can't just say, I want to grow my business. That's a great idea. A goal needs to be measurable, and so you need to have a numeric part to that. Okay, so that's important. And that goes along with my first goal as well, is that I want to make more money. One of my goals is to grow my business, but I need to do that by making more money so I can help pay for college. I have a number there. Then I'm going to back up and say my measurable goal is, in order to get to that number, I have a certain amount of coaches and a certain amount of customers that I need to add every single month. Then I'll break that down into week and then day, okay, so that they're doable. They also need to be, next one is attainable. Attainable goals. So here's the deal. We get excited. It's the new year. People are talking about resolutions, their word of the year, all these super cool things. And we know that anything is possible. And so we get super excited about setting goals. And I love that. Goals should absolutely push you out of your comfort zone. They should absolutely make you feel slightly uncomfortable. But they also need to be realistic and attainable. I would like to make $1 million coaching. Awesome. Who wouldn't? Most likely not going to happen this year. Not saying it's not going to happen. I'm saying that would be an unattainable goal this year. Now, there's that side of me, because I have a personality that is like the eternal optimist. I'm like, hey, anything is possible. I believe that in the core of who I am. So I'm not going to say it's impossible. I don't believe, because of my faith too, I don't believe that anything is impossible. Everything is possible. But when you're setting goals, they need to be realistic and attainable. I think that it's possible in this business, I know that it is, to make $1 million a year. Realistically, I will not make $1 million this year, but when I build and I have attainable, realistic goals, over time, I could do that. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's not going to work. It's not going to be this year. I look at Tracy's like, ah! I know. But it's totally doable.
That's insane.
But
I can't even imagine.
like, right. But it's not realistic right now. Doable, yes. Realistic, no.
Doable is
What?
like the whole even doable part is making me like,
Oh, girl, it's totally doable. But totally.
wow.
We'll get into that. We can talk about that. So we're going to take down, like I said, take our bigger goals, break those down into pieces. We're going to set the bar high. We're going to push ourselves. We're going to push ourselves out of our comfort zone, do things that make us a little nervous, but we're also going to be honest with ourselves. And pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone is going to push us along in our business, and they can be still towards realistic, attainable goals. Okay? Next one, time is ticking, relevant. They need to be relevant. Basically, the goals that you have need to push you towards your dream. I mean, that's great. I want to be, I don't need to go into that a lot. I mean, we can set all sorts of goals, but are they relevant to you moving your business forward? Are they relevant for you being the best coach that you can be? That's where you kind of have to figure that out yourself. But just to make goals that help you actually progress towards reaching your dreams, doing the things that you want to do. The last thing, time bound. It's important to set times to your goals. This is important for accountability. Like I said before, you need to break them down into daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly goals. So, and you need to be specific with your dates. I would highly encourage you to sit down and do this with your upline coach, okay? So, and my upline coach is so wonderful, but she's not taking the time to do all this goal setting individually with us. So I am doing it with Erin and Amethyst because they get me and my life, and they are going to hold me accountable. Like I said, Melanie is awesome. She's the #1 coach in the company, but she doesn't have time for individuals. I mean, she does, but not really. So whatever, there's that. So whoever it is in your life, but the coaches on our team have time. So if you have a downline coach, you need to make sure that you're spending time with them creating this. If you are a coach, you need to reach out to your upline. And then you guys can talk strategy, break it down. How are you going to do that? And it doesn't have to be crazy, you guys. Remember, this is your goal, your business, and you get to do it how you want. I will say this. This is on you. Goal setting is on you. It is not your upline's responsibility to draw these goals out of you and make you do it. You own your own business. You go after what you want. It's not your upline's job to know what to create that for you. This is your life, your business, your dreams. Your upline coach will just help you create a way to get there, a pathway to get there. And so when we think of it like that, it's super exciting. There's no expectation. Not one goals are better than the other. It's exactly what's right for you and your life and your dreams. Okay? That good? So we're going to talk more about this, but that's the first place to start, and hopefully that is helpful for you to get in there and start doing some work yourself and just thinking through, what is it that I want? Not what does Beachbody want, not what does Melanie want for me, not what anybody else want. What do I want out of my business for my life and my family? And that's super exciting to me. Okay, we're going to get cut off, but any other questions?
I have one question.
Yeah.
Regarding the retreat.
Yes.
Is there going to be Wi-Fi, internet access there so we can do a lot of exchanging, sharing?
Yes, Erin's cabin is absolutely amazing. It's stunning. It's beautiful. It has Wi-Fi. Sometimes with the weather, it can be temperamental.
Sure. Yeah.
And I believe they put it in outside of the cabin. It's dicey. I believe they upgraded and put it in so it works all the time. But I will check with her on that. The more that I say that now.